Hello, in this section we are going to see how to pull an image and how to run a container from that image. But before that, just have a look at what are Docker images actually. So a definition can be like this: a Docker image is a file used to execute the code in a Docker container. Docker image acts as a set of instructions to build a Docker container like a template. Okay, a Docker image is a file used to execute code inside a container. Docker images act as a set of instructions to build a Docker container like a template. And if someone asks you what is container, a container is a runnable instance of an image. Simple. A container is a runnable instance of an image. Or if someone asks you what is Docker image, you can also say like a set of commands, used to execute a container, because there is something known as Docker file. When we build our custom images, we need to create a Docker file first. So inside that Docker file, we mention all the commands, all the instructions, right? All the instructions inside that Docker file. So this can be the correct definition. A Docker image is a file used to execute code in a Docker container. Okay, now let's try to pull an image and run a container from that image. So Docker pull and the image name. So let's take Nginx. Now see, using default tag latest. Always remember, if you are not going to mention the tag with this image, it will take the latest one. Like, if you're not going to mention the version of which image version do you need to run inside a container, right? So it will take the latest by default. So the latest tag of this image has been pulled. To check, the command will be docker image ls. See, Nginx, see, repository, just take it as a name as for now. So the name is Nginx, tag is latest, because we haven't mentioned anything, so it will take the latest one. And this is your image ID, created 7 days ago, and this is the size of your image. Now how to create a container, how to run a container from this image? It is very simple. Docker run -it means interactive shell. It need some way to communicate. It need a terminal also, right? And then D for foreground, like run this container in the background, because if I am not going to mention D, it will use this console. It will run in the front end, not in the back end, not in the background. So I will make it like -D, itd, correct? And if you mention double hyphen name and the like C1, so this will be your container name. Okay, if you will remove it, the Docker will assign a particular name, a random name to your container. So it depends on you. If you need to give it, you can give it, otherwise leave it. And then the name of your image. I'm not mentioning that double hyphen name and the name. I'm not mentioning. We will see what name is there now. Okay, this is the output. This is your container ID. Now to check what are the containers running in this machine, docker container ls. See, EB0160. So this is the short container ID and this is your full container ID. And which image is used inside this container? Nginx. Leave this as for now. We will talk about these things later. Created 14 seconds ago. Status up. It is up from the last 14 seconds. And port number 80. We will talk about all these things. See now, jolly_alien. So this is the name which Docker has given to this container, because we haven't mentioned double hyphen name flag. Now see, we pull the image first and run a container from this image, right? It is not necessary to pull the image first and run the container. If you will just deploy this command, docker run -itd in the Nginx, it will pull the image also and it will run the container. Let us try that part now. So let me delete the container first and then the image. So to delete the container, docker rm docker remove. Now what remove? My container. So container id or container name. So let's take the name. Okay, but it is going to give me an error. See, you cannot remove a running container. Okay, stop the container before attempting removal or force remove. So I have two options now. Either first I need to stop the container, or what I can do rm-f, that delete this container forcefully. Enter. It is gone now. If I will run this command again, docker container ls, see, it's gone, right? So remember this thing, you always need to stop the container first in terms of delete it, or you can remove it forcefully with the -f flag. Clear? Now the image part. To see the image, docker image ls. So this is the image. To delete the image, docker rm I. See, these commands are same. Docker rm, this is for the container, and rm I for the image, right? Docker rm I and the name of the image. Gone. Docker image ls. No image is there now. Now let's try to run that container from the nginx image again, and we are not going to pull it now. Docker run -itd, and let's mention the name also, like c1. Okay, I will not skip this one. We will mention this flag now, and we will see whether it is going to take the name or not. ~name c1 image name. See, unable to find the image locally, so it is pulling the image first, and then it will run the container from this image, right? Now see, docker container ls, container id, short id, long id, right? This is the image. From this image, this container has been created. It means this image is running inside this container, this application, and 10 seconds ago c1, correct? So we have seen how to pull the image, how to create a container, how to delete the container, how to delete the image, and how to mention the name of your container. Now if you need to delete this container, what will be the steps? It is simple. Docker rm-f. We can use forcefully either the name or either the id. c1, simple, delete it. Cross check, docker container ls, gone. Image, docker rmi-f and the name of the image. Got it? These things are very simple. Now I will see you in the next session. Thank you.